A shooting yesterday in Paris left one police officer dead and others seriously injured. We have all the details.
Also, we get an inside look at the Westboro Baptist protest that occurred here on campus.
We have all this and more. You're watching Studio G. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Studio G. I'm Giselle Delaceres.
And I'm Albania Guido. Yesterday at around 9 p.m. in Paris, a gunman opened fire on a police van, instantly killing one and injuring 3 others. The gunman parked and opened fire at a policeman in front of Champs-Élysées, one of Paris's top tourist attractions. The man then ran away, managing to shoot and wound 2 other policemen and a citizen. Other policemen engaged and shot and killed the attacker. President Trump responded to the attack.
Condolences from our country to the people of France. Again, it's happening, it seems. I just saw it as I was walking in, so that's terrible.
According to CNN, the suspect was on the radar of the French Domestic Security Service. The man was a French national who shot 2 officers in 2001 after being stopped by a police car. He was convicted in that attack and had a criminal record because of involvement in violent robberies. ISIS later issued a statement via the group's media Win Amok, claiming responsibility for the attack. Paris prosecutor Francois Milan said he will reveal the shooter's identity later today at a news conference. The shooting comes just 3 days before French voters start elections for a new president.
Earlier this week, word broke out that the Westboro Baptist Church, who many consider a hate group, would be protesting at UNLV. Students organized to fight back. Annabelle Rocha was there to tell us more.
I'm standing in the free speech area outside of the Lead Library, where Westboro Baptist Church is set to host a protest at 8:30 a.m. The news of their appearance on campus has also sparked a counter-protest by the LGBT community, who's hosting a dance party in order to express their opposition to Westboro.
We're here, we're queer, we're here to love. We're here to appreciate, we're here to make our presence known.
I think they have every right to be here. Under the First Amendment, they have every right to be here. Do I want them here? No.
Protesters met in the free speech area, but soon received word that Westboro members had arrived on Maryland Parkway. They quickly marched towards Greenspun, chanting along the way. Metro Police kept the 2 groups separated in order to prevent any physical altercation.
We are the UNLV community, and we are here to tell you, you are not welcome here!
The scene was loud as both sets of protesters shouted messages of opposition towards the other. Angel Mayorano even presented Westboro with a bowl of stones, which he says goes along with the biblical verse.
Let he who has not sinned cast the first stone, because that's exactly what they're violating.
After a chaotic morning, Westboro Baptist Church has officially walked off from UNLV campus. Protesters are still here behind me, and it doesn't seem like the party's going to start up anytime soon. For Studio G, I'm Annabelle Rocha.
Westboro Baptist Church also protested at Rancho High School this week.
A wanted woman in Florida outs herself after posting a live video on Facebook. It didn't take long for police to track her down after clearly seeing her surroundings. According to Polk County Sheriff's Office, 18-year-old Markeisha Wilkerson had a warrant out for her arrest for 2 charges: improper display of a firearm and failure to appear in court.
On Facebook Live, voila, we discovered this lady who has outstanding warrants.
Investigators were searching through Facebook Live videos when they noticed Wilkerson currently broadcasting a live video of herself at a Chuck E. Cheese in Lakeland, Florida.
People who commit crime are going to get on Facebook. We know this, that witnesses and interested people in the community who want to help us solve crime will get on Facebook.
Sheriff Grady Judd later commented that this is a prime example of how social media is becoming a valuable investigative tool.
New Metro recruits graduate and join force in need of more police officers.
At the Red Rock Hotel and Casino, where 70 recruits are graduating to become Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officers.
I solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend.
Last year, the police department lacked the funding to hire additional officers that it so desperately needed. The sales tax was finally approved by the Nevada legislature and implemented by the Clark County Commission. The revenue from the sales tax will pay for more police officers. The police department is hoping to graduate more officers next year.
Big push. We're trying to hire 600 plus police officers in the next 2 years. So if anybody out there feels they're qualified, you just go to lvmpd.com, look on the internet, it'll tell you what the qualifications are, and if you feel confident, put your application in and test. We're more than happy to accommodate you and get you through the process.
It feels great. It's been 6+ years. I mean, 5 years ago I wanted this. I tried out. I knew I needed more experience, more knowledge, joined the military, got some college experience, and it's just 5 years of hard work finally paid off. So.
Eric Hernandez was one of the many graduates that felt relieved to finally call themselves a police officer after a long application process and a 6-month training that was required from the police academy.
I feel relieved. I know there's a lot more I still have to do, a lot more I still have to go to achieve my full dream. I mean, hopefully one day my goal is to make SWAT. It's my goal since I was a little kid, so each and every step, I'm just getting there.
The room was filled with excitement as well as tears of joy from proud family members in the audience.
Oh my gosh, it's so thrilling and so excited. So proud of him and all his accomplishments, through the Army and then now with the Academy and distinguished recruit. I'm so proud, and he's done it all on his own, and he's so dedicated and so excited for what he's going to accomplish now, in the police academy.
For Studio G, I'm Jessica Vargas.
I think it's great that our police force is growing.
It is. The ceremony was actually a really great ceremony. This class was the most gold medals that they've had. It was 13. The sheriff said it was a lot higher than the normal average, so it was really nice.
Oh, that's good. Well, congrats for them. Well, so after the break, we'll take a look at some of the biggest sports headlines going on around the country.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is a nutrition center. Anyone from the Las Vegas community is welcome. We can get more people into the nutrition center, get them more educated, then they can learn what ways to prevent chronic diseases and to become healthier individuals. All classes are held in BHS building, Bigelow Health Sciences, room 212, and the times vary, but you could always check them at the UNLV calendar or UNLV Today, and all the classes, times, and descriptions are available there.
Our Metropolis is a 30-minute show that airs every Tuesday evening at 91.5. You're going to hear Dr. Gary Larson along with our regular contributors talking about what matters to our community. And not only what matters, but why does it matter? We look at our community as a whole, but we also pay special attention to what's happening here at UNLV because that's our home as well. So looking at our Metropolis through the lens of a radio show really gives us the unique perspective to tell a story through words and through people, and I think it makes for a great program.
Oh, the station's great. You make friends, you gain skills, you learn how to do all this stuff with audio. It's a fantastic thing.
I can grow with everyone and everybody supports me as well as I can support them.
I think it's great. I think it's a blessing to have this kind of equipment from the Green Spun family as well as the state of Nevada.
And it's really informative to see, how a radio show really works.
Now that I do it, I have friends, I have people that want to hang out, and I get to play music a lot.
It's very good too because we have all the top of the line equipment to work with and students here that can help you out, so it's a very, very good way to get involved in the radio.
Welcome back, Rebels. Thanks for sticking with us.
Now let's see what's going on in the sports world with Jessica.
Thanks, ladies. I'm Jessica Vargas, and I have your top sport headlines.
Boston Celtics guard Marcus Smart was fined $25,000 for making an obscene gesture on the court during their loss to the Chicago Bulls on Tuesday. Smart appeared to flip off a fan while backpedaling down the court in the fourth quarter. Smart had just missed a three-pointer when he appeared to react to the heckling fan. Brad Stevens, head coach of the Celtics, later commented that in the video he saw, it was hard to tell if Smart made a gesture, but if he did, it is unacceptable and will be handled by the league. Phil Simmons, former New York Giants quarterback, has been added to the CBS NFL Today cast 2 weeks after being replaced by Tony Romo on the network's top broadcast team. Sims spent the last 19 seasons at CBS as the network's top analyst and the past 13 alongside Jim Nantz. Romo was announced as Nantz's new partner after being released from the Dallas Cowboys on April 4th. Sims says he will be happy to offer Romo advice on the position, but like football, the rookies have to go out and experience it for themselves. Adidas apologized, saying that they are incredibly sorry after the company sent an offensive email to Boston Marathon participants Tuesday. One day after the 2017 marathon, the email's subject line read, "Congrats, you survived the Boston Marathon." This comes 4 years after bombs exploded at the finish line, killing 3 people and injuring 260 more. Adidas apologized to USA Today Sports, saying, "We deeply apologize for our mistake, although the purpose of the email was to sell Adidas apparel." They quickly received backlash on Twitter for the subject line. Shareef O'Neal, son of former Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal, committed to play basketball for the Arizona Wildcats on Wednesday. According to Scout.com, O'Neal is a 4-star prospect who ranks as the number 36 overall player in the state of California. O'Neal is the Wildcats' second commitment from the class of 2018. He had also been considering other schools like USC, UCLA, and Kentucky. But after a recent visit to Arizona in February, he was very impressed. O'Neal's father, Shaquille, commented that he will do as his father did and let him make his own decisions on this topic. Serena Williams announced Wednesday that she and fiancé Alexia Ohanian are expecting their first child this fall. Williams posted a side profile shot of herself in a yellow swimsuit on Snapchat with a caption that read, 20 weeks. Before deleting it, if Williams' 20 weeks post was accurate, it would suggest that she was about 8 weeks pregnant when she won the Australian Open in January. She plans to return to tennis next year and become a Grand Slam winning mom. Now, bringing it back to Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena is hosting the Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight on May 7th. What's your thoughts on it, ladies?
You know, I think boxing is such a great sport. I think it's amazing. So I think it'll be a fun fight to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I watch boxing with my family time to time, so this is one that I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting, especially since we have 2 Mexican warriors in the ring going toe-to-toe. So it's going to be hard to find out, to see who's going to win, who's going to take the win for that fight.
Speaking of sports, concussions have plagued the sport of football for years. Yuri Andreashuk, went over this issue and even caught up with UNLV football's own Anthony Zepeda to analyze concussions and other injuries within the sport.
Concussions have been a frequent issue in the NFL over the years. The problem has risen to the point where former players are filing lawsuits against the NFL. Notable names include Miami Dolphins legend Dan Marino and San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Dwight Clark, who was recently diagnosed with ALS. Common symptoms of concussions sustained by football players are headaches, confusion, memory loss, and mood changes. I caught up with UNLV defensive end Anthony Zepeda to discuss how he rehabilitates injuries sustained, how he fights through injuries to make it on time for game day, along with the team's concussion protocol.
Some injuries, obviously, you can't play through depending on the extent of the injury and the severity, but say you have a twisted ankle, you just tape it up, roll it in, go out there and play, depending on the severity of your pain. And there's a number of things you can do. You can put ankle braces on, or say you hurt your shoulder, you can put a strap on your shoulder. There's a number of ways you can do it. We have a training facility we can go to. Usually we just take ice baths, depending on the severity of the injury. There are numerous things that we can do. I think prime example this year, the NCAA, they've passed a law where 2-a-days are no longer prohibited during fall camp. So that's a step they're taking to make sure that the game is safer. But as far as overall safety, football is a violent game, and I think they've done everything they can in their power. They've eliminated targeting, leading with the helmet. So I think the NFL and college has done whatever they can to make sure everyone's as safe as possible. So I think the steps that they're taking now are the steps that they should be taking.
The NCAA and NFL will continue to deal with concussions sustained by their athletes, but it will be up to them to handle how specific rules can bring more safety to the game. For Studio G, I'm Yuri Andrayashuk.
Hopefully the sport becomes safer in the future.
We've been loving this sunshine, so now let's go to James and see what our weather's looking like. James?
Thanks, ladies. Let's go ahead and jump straight into our weather by opening up with our high today. It is at 82 with our low at 63, but we're at a nice little cool 70 right now. So if you're outside, you're experiencing the best weather you're going to see maybe all week. But let's go ahead and look at Boston.com, where we got the daffodils in full bloom out in Boston. A wonderful little bit of weather that they're getting that we hope to replicate here in town. But let's go ahead and look at our 5-day forecast. Sun, 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 and more sun. But what else do you expect from living in the Las Vegas Valley? We're moving into those low 90s, which we should expect getting closer towards summer on the latter end of spring, but that's what we expect here in the valley. Sun is getting more and more in the valley, so we are getting a little bit of the 80s right at the end on Wednesday, so just enjoy that while you can. Out in the valley, all the way from Boulder City, all the way out to Centennial, well, it's pretty easy to say. If you're anywhere in the valley, you're experiencing the same weather wherever you are. But one thing to keep in mind is the wind is picking up. 22 miles per hour will be the high for the wind today, and that's blowing in from Summerlin. That's coming in from a northern side of things. So if you're up there in Centennial, you're up in Mount Charleston, you're coming in, you're going to be experiencing a little bit of wind that we won't experience down in the south. But let's go ahead and look at this morning. 72 degrees is where we are at. But one thing to keep in mind is that the wind will be picking up a little bit at 14 miles per hour. But that's almost the peak for today. You shouldn't see much more in the area of wind. It will get down to the single digits, but for right now it's in the double digits. But let's go ahead and move off to tonight. Tonight, 64 is our low, but again, 60s is the sweet spot for our low cold weather in the evening, so get used to that for the rest of the season. But clear skies for the most part, no clouds whatsoever, just clear skies all across the valley. But let's go ahead and look at the national forecast. We have a system coming in all the way from Seattle down to Kansas City, and the deal with that is pretty much a rain system. Not much snow, but what else do you expect when you're this far into the year? Well, that's all I have for your weather today. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll sit down with a local rapper that performed in the Reb Fest yesterday. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is a nutrition center. Anyone from the Las Vegas community is welcome. We can get more people into the nutrition center, get them more educated, then they can learn what ways to prevent chronic diseases and to become healthier individuals. All classes are held in BHS building, Bigelow Health Sciences, room 212, and the times vary, but you could always check them at the UNLV calendar or UNLV Today, and all the classes, times, and descriptions are available there.
Welcome back. Today we are joined by a very special guest, a local rapper that goes by the name Chop 808. Thank you so much for being here today.
I'm glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about the history of your hip hop career. When did it all start for you?
Started when I was 14. You know, I just wanted to, get more into hip hop, and I love the essence of it. And I just thought it was something that I can dive into that meant a lot to me. It was a way for me to get out my emotions and my feelings. So I love it.
Why are you so passionate about hip hop?
I'm passionate about hip hop because of the storytelling, and because a lot of the times I usually tell my life. So I would like to inspire people and bring about honest situations in my life and just help people. My goal in life is to make everybody in the world smile at least once. See, there you go.
Well, you can check me off your list.
Yeah, for sure.
And who's some of the biggest inspirations for you in the hip hop community?
Andre 3000 of Outkast, Kanye West, J. Cole, and the list goes on and on. There's more, but those are the top 3 right now.
And for those top 3, why are they your inspirations?
They're good with storytelling. I love storytelling. I love the energy they bring and how energetic they are, especially Andre. Like, he dresses in different clothing and give you different characters. So what is more great than that? You know, somebody that can act, but also tell you a good rap, rippity rap.
So tell us a little bit about RebFest yesterday.
Wow.
How was it?
Amazing. I wish I could do backflips on stage because I would have. It was a great experience. I had never been to something like that at UNLV before, and I thought that was one of the greatest things that I've ever seen or witnessed or even been a part of. So RebFest was definitely an awesome experience. I thought that everybody that was there, hey, look.
What would you say is your biggest takeaway from it? Did you learn anything? Did you have a really good specific experience during it?
My biggest takeaway is to always have fun. But also is meeting new people. That's the greatest thing. Like, meeting new people. What is better than that? So I love it. I love it.
What would you say is the legacy that you want to leave on the hip hop community?
Ooh. Hey, that's a good one. I love it. The legacy that I want to leave. I know making people smile was one of them, but another one is to bring hope and inspiration. I feel like a lot of people don't have enough hope in themselves, or they don't believe in themselves enough, and I want to feel every kid, every older person, every person that's in college, wherever they are, to have faith in whatever they're doing or hope to make it to the next level in their career. And that's what I want to do. I want to inspire people.
What are some of the things that you rap about in your tracks?
One of them is called Out of Control. I rap about robbing a bank, even though I never robbed a bank. But it's a story about, you know, somebody falling in love and going through the trials and tribulations of a relationship. So that's one of them, and I have plenty of more. You know, I have one where I'm just talking about candy and how to express yourself. Like I say, sugar mama, can I be your sugar daddy? You know, that's one of the lines that I say in Candy Lane. So I just talk about anything.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do you think it's important that artists kind of have a jack of all trades style to their lyrics? Like, they have some songs that are a little more on a serious tone and some that are making people smile?
Yes. Even though I make people smile, I think you should have songs where it goes deep. Because life is not all smiles and life is not all about talking about deep. It's all a mixture of everything, especially since we live in Las Vegas. It's a melting pot. So I want to give people different sides of what I do. And I think that's one of the greatest things that I can bring to hip-hop.
So where's the next place we can see you?
Right now on YouTube. I'm making a video right now called Candy Lane. That's the one about the candy bars. So I use a whole bunch of candy bar references to talk about how I feel about this girl. So that's one of the greatest things. So YouTube, Chop808, CHOP808.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for
No,
joining us today.
You're the
We really
greatest.
appreciate it.
I love it.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for today. We want to thank Chop808 for stopping by. Be sure to tune into our Tuesday show to see more from his performance at RebFest. After the break, we will get an inside look into a local coffee bar that is sure to become part of your daily grind. Don't go anywhere.
I think we're feeling like excited about the prospects. We know we're going to drop a lot of time, hopefully break a few records, and I think that the team is ready to go.
I'm pretty excited. We've done very well as a team this year, and I think coming into Taper, I think we're going to do really well these next few weeks.
More than Music Mondays. Rap, hip-hop, R&B too. I like to play like any new upcoming music, new albums, new mixtapes. I like to open up with maybe kind of like a hype song that gives people energy. Just play any type of good music and then give people like a rundown what's going on currently in hip hop. Just good vibes, good music. A lot of radio stations don't keep up with playing good music. So that's really the goal. This is Jalen Young on More Than Music Mondays. Check me out on the Rebel HD2.
A local coffee house is serving the people of Las Vegas more than just a cup of joe. Studio G reporter Ashley Renan has the story.
One restaurant in downtown Las Vegas is taking the idea of community to the next level. I sit down with General Manager Lane at Publicus to find out. When Publicus opened its doors in April of 2015, the idea of a communal restaurant was what owner Kimo Akiano envisioned.
Why Publicus is the way it is, and I think it's really the attribute to Publicus is the main stakeholder, which is Kimo Akiona, and he's done a lot of traveling in the field that he works in, and because of that he's been inspired by food, coffee, and design, and so he decided to build a coffee house. It started out to be, and then it grew into a restaurant with a coffee bar in it.
This urban coffee spot certainly has a style unlike most others in the Las Vegas Valley.
A lot of people call the design industrial and kind of mid-modern, you know. It has a lot of clean lines and so forth.
And they have quite a menu to match it.
I think food-wise, I would say our smashed avocado. It's really popular and people seem to gravitate to it. Another barista here, Mary Lou, who actually developed a couple drinks, and people really like the Panda, which is our green matcha with a hint of mint.
But that's not all Publicus serves up. This eclectic eatery hosts different events like pop-up.
There's a couple things we do on the weekends. We try to house any craftsman or artist or someone that makes something of their own. A lot of times on a busy day, you'll have people come in and you'll see people hop from table to table to table because they're either meeting new friends or old friends. If you look at the derivative of the name in Latin, Publicus means for the people. And so he really created something for the people.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Ashley Renan.
Publicus just celebrated their 2-year anniversary and plans on throwing a public event in the near future to celebrate.
A group of Latinos had a great time this past weekend in the concert of one of the top Cuban artists of the moment. Taimi Soto has the recap.
The Latino community had the time of their life this past weekend at Samstown Hotel and Casino. One of the most popular Cuban artists of the moment, G Apr, put everyone to dance for more than 2 hours straight. G Apr is one of the few Cuban reggaetoneros that get signed by Sony Music Latin. His hit, Hasta que se seque el malecón, was filmed in his hometown Havana, Cuba, reaching about 49 million views. The song stayed on Billboard's Hot Latin Songs chart for more than 14 weeks after its release. He is now an example for the young generation since he didn't let politics between Cuba and the United States get on his career. The concert was full of energy, and of course, I couldn't resist to join this Latino group and show my Cuban moves. For Studio G, Taimi Soto.
Samstown Hotel and Casino will be hosting more Hispanic concerts next month.
That's all for our show today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again next week here at Studio G.